Namaskar, good evening. You're watching Nation Wants to Know and I'm Swati Joshi. The Quota Showdown is back in Karnataka, with the Siddaramaiah cabinet taking a decision to increase the minority quota in government's housing schemes by 5%. The government currently has a quota of 10%, which will now go up to 15%. Now, this move comes weeks after Karnataka passed a bill to create a 4% Muslim quota in government civil contracts. While the state government says that the decision is aimed at ensuring housing for all, including the deprived sections, the move has been criticized by the BJP, which calls it blatantly illegal and against the constitution. But first up, let's listen in to what the government had to say regarding the decision.
Housing for all is to be implemented, and right now we see that houseless are more in various downtrodden and minorities. We have increased the housing reservation from 10 to 15, looking at the ground realities.
Now, the BJP has slammed the Siddaramaiah government's decision, calling it unconstitutional and accusing the Congress government of trying to appease its vote bank. Union Minister Prahlad Joshi said additional quota will eat into the number of houses meant for SC, ST and OBC community members. Here's how the political face-off played out.
कांग्रेस के कैबिनेट ने कर्नाटक में निर्णय लिया कि जो हाउसिंग स्कीम है कर्नाटक में अक्रॉस द स्टेट पूरे राज्य में उसमें मुस्लिमों के लिए आरक्षण किया जाएगा और आरक्षण को बढ़ा करके 15% किया जाएगा। इस वेलफेयर स्कीम में धार्मिक एंगल जोड़ा गया है और उस धार्मिक एंगल के अंतर्गत मुसलमानों के लिए फॉर द मुस्लिम्स देयर वुड बी 15% रिजर्वेशन। की शॉर्ट टर्म पॉलिटिकल बेनिफिट के लिए कांग्रेस पार्टी हमेशा एक लॉन्ग टर्म डिजास्टर को इनवाइट करती है।
More than 3 commissions earlier have declared that the minorities, they have done socio-economic studies and very clearly they have said they need upliftment. Even in the previous government there was a Sachar committee that had said the same.
ये जो धर्म आधारित रिजर्वेशन है वो जॉब में हो, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में हो या हाउसिंग स्कीम में और हाउसिंग स्कीम में हो, ये तो पूरा एंटी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल है। इसका अर्थ क्या है? जो ओबीसी SC ST का कोटा कम हो जाता है।
But this is not the first time when the Congress government in Karnataka has been accused of appeasement. Let's in fact take a look at some other decisions of the government which reeked of appeasement. Appeasement number 1. 4% quota for Muslims in government contracts. Bill passed reserved for President's approval. Decision number 2. Rupees 1,000 crore for minority colony development. Decision number 3, which is being called appeasement, blatant appeasement by the BJP, is 150 crore rupees in budget to protect Waqf assets. Appeasement number 4, withdrew Hubballi riots cases, but High Court set it aside. Decision number 5, cases against SDPI and PFI dropped in the previous regime. Now, this, of course, has led to a massive political face-off in the state of Karnataka. And here's the question that we are asking tonight. Are the needy deprived by political compulsions? You can have your say, register your vote at Times Now on social media platform X, and we'll reveal the results right after the debate. So let's open up the debate. Let's go across to our guests. This evening, we're joined by RP Singh, national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. We are also joined by Anurag Naidu, a political analyst, Advocate Kapil Madan, also a political analyst, and Syed Asad Abbas, a political analyst. Good evening to all of you. Thank you very much for joining us. Let me go across to Advocate Kapil Madan first. The allegation is that all of this is being done just for vote banks, and there's a long list of examples that have been cited by the BJP saying that the Congress party has a history of playing this politics of appeasement.
So, Swati, let me say this, and I say this with a sense of responsibility. It's half facts and, BJP is trying to make a full fiction out of it. The fact of the matter is this reservation is not primarily based on religion. There are factors like economic backwardness, which is under the realm of the Constitution of India, Article 15, and that's the premise on which this reservation have been announced. And I will also like to tell my good friend here, Mr. RP Singh from the BJP, if you look at the Sanchar Committee's report also, the Sanchar Committee report has also recommended the same thing. Third, and the most important thing, which Mr. Singh I'm sure will try to find it difficult to counter. The previous coalition government also has discussed this proposal. However, it was not implemented. So it's not that something new has happened. This was something that was discussed, deliberated in the previous government wherein BJP was in coalition, and it is only in this regime that has been implemented. Insofar as, of course, if you look at it and if you test it on the touchstone of the Constitution of India, it is absolutely constitutional. It is in line with the statute. It is in line with our several judicial precedents.
Okay.
And it is also in line with the committee report issued by Sanchar Committee.
RP Singh, respond to that. It's not unconstitutional, and Advocate Kapil Madan, along with a lot of people from the Congress, keep citing the Sanchar Committee report, saying the Sanchar Committee spoke about the same thing, and it is in line with that, in sync with that.
Well, Kapil is a very learned lawyer also, although he defends Congress party. But what do the Article 14, 15 and 16 says about the reservation as per religion? You can't do that. And then there are Supreme Court rulings against that. But I mean, it's all for the political objective. You just rightly said this now, that it has been ongoingly happening. It happened with 4% quota in the tenders for the Muslims, then 1,000 rupees for crore rupees for minority community colony. I mean, okay, that's still because that's not disturbing the basic constitutional part. And again, 150 crore for the Waqf board. Hubli riot cases, you rightly said. I mean, all Hubli riot cases have been taken back because they're all Muslims who are involved in that. And there's a huge list. It's not one or two. They're listed in hundreds. And also the PFA accused has been let off. So the Karnataka government is ongoingly trying to appease a certain vote bank. किसी एक वोट बैंक को खुश करने के लिए किसी हद तक जा सकते हैं.
आप कह रहे हैं वोट बैंक को खुश करने के लिए, but the Karnataka ministers are saying that according to them and the data that they have, if homeless people were found in downtrodden societies and communities, and most of them belonging to the minority, what's the harm?
Then it should be eco-economical social status, not religion. I mean, are there only poor and people homeless only among the Muslims? Are they not? Otherwise, they are not among the Hindus. Well, they should have said that, okay, it's good to provide housing, but then say that it is economically, socially backward, or people who are left out, or who are deprived. That should be the marker, not the religion is the marker.
Okay, religion is not a marker, Syed Asad Abbas. You're actually taking away the rights of the deprived who truly deserve this, and you're distributing it amongst people who belong to a particular community.
Well, if that was the case, then the Muslims of Karnataka would have been not homeless, but homeful. Let us also understand, RP Singh Sahab, that the briefing, the cabinet decision after the meeting, the Law and Parliamentary Affairs Minister of the Government of Karnataka, Shri H.K. Patil ji, said the move was based on the disproportionately high number of houseless individuals among the minority communities in both urban Karnataka and rural Karnataka. The Muslims happen to form the bulk of the minority population in Karnataka. Also, sir, let me bring to you a very interesting norm in the center. The law minister also pointed out that the center had issued guidelines and it had already provided 15% allocation for minorities. And Karnataka was following suit. Minority communities, sir, have long been requesting the hike in quota in the housing schemes. Karnataka government brought in housing for all. Why is it increased from 10% to 15%, 5% more for the minority? Is because large disproportionality which is there. Largest number, including the Vokkaliga, including the Lingayat of Karnataka, including the Kuruba of Karnataka, the Muslims or the minority is the most homeless. Even like my friends mentioned, Sanchar Committee report, it shows that the Muslims are the most backward of the class in socio-economic reforms. So therefore, in order to bring in better reforms, in order to provide house for all.
This is something that is being said in terms of upliftment of the minority for years together, decade in fact, Anurag Naidu. But the situation is on ground, the reality stays the same. Is this a backdoor entry of religion in Quota, Anurag Naidu?
Yeah, I think just before I get into my points, I have a question to Abbas Bhai, my dear friend. If Abbas Bhai, if you go, I hope the implementation is smooth. If you go and seek for an apartment, will you get it or not?
I will answer that. Sir, I kindly request you to please go through the bill Housing for All. In that, it has clearly mentioned this is only for the homeless. Sir, I am homeful. I have a home, thanks to God Almighty. So therefore, it does not apply to me. It is only for the homeless.
I'm only telling, if you actually get into the detail, the implementation has its own loopholes. That's why the Congress is, one of the senior most MLAs have come out and alleged corruption. Now, you know, the point that I want to make is appeasement at the cost of others' livelihood. When you talk about 4% reservation in contracts, the quality of contracts and social destabilization. You know, in Karnataka executive, there is a saying, government's work is God's work. It's written on Vidhan Sauda. Though we know who is in the government, but we really would like to know who is the God here. And an important point, religion-based reservation, does it really have constitutional validity? Will it not get challenged? And what kind of a signal are you giving to the SC, STs, the other backward classes who really deserve to get the basic fundamental housing? And not just ambiguity and implementation and the corruption allegations. What I would like to ask today is it not in the bad taste that you rake up such issues when the state is reeling under the crisis with financial crisis? We don't have enough money to spend on development. The roads, you can see the condition of the roads. People are dying left, right, and center. One rainfall and people just go dying. And this is the state of Bangalore and Karnataka. And if we are talking about
Anurag, what do you have to say about this argument? What do you have to say about this argument that if the homeless are coming from these communities, from the minority section, and the government is not saying Muslims, they're saying minorities, then what can you do? How will you challenge the data?
No, I'm only saying that homeless are homeless. Anyone who is homeless do not have religion. Homeless is not religion based. I'm saying a homeless from other religion, will you not allow? Should you not allow? We have a lot of homeless people in Bangalore. Why do you want to attach only to religion, give it to only one person from that religion to decide, and have the people from the same religion to take phone calls and allocate the allotment? What kind of a message does it send? That's my fundamental question. You can make it look far more fairer. You had a chance.
Make it look far more
fairer. The minister said that we have a lot more apartments in stock.
Can I quickly answer that?
Yes, Mr. Madan. No, I want to go across Mr. Madan first.
Okay. So, as I said in my opening remarks, if you look at the, this entire scheme of things, and I have also quoted Article 15, and I have said so that religion per se is not the primary factor basis which this reservation will be decided. It is the other factor, and one of the main factor is economic backwardness. Now, you will have to see the scheme in totality. And if there are people who comes from the economically backward society, of course, they will also be given. So it has to, you can't simply say if this logic, Anuragji's logic needs to be accepted, then there has to be, no reservation insofar as, OBCs are concerned. There should be no reservation insofar as SC and ST is concerned. There should only be one criteria, which should be the economic backwardness. But unfortunately, what Mr. Anurag is saying is not written in the Constitution. The Constitution, specifically Article 15, prescribes that the state can make laws to uplift the socially and economically backward.
Yes, but the allegation is that what you're saying is absolutely right. That's the definition. But the allegation is that the Congress party only sees people from the minority community fitting into that description.
No.
RP Singh.
Swati.
Yes. RP Singh ji.
Swati, my friend rightly put, Kapil Madan rightly put, socially and economically backward. Where do you put a ladder of religion onto that? When we are with you, you do anything for socially and economically backward. please go through, get the data on record and help all those socially economically backward. Although there's a lot of corruption happening today, only there's an audio on record, and Mr. Patil has accepted that yes, it's my voice and I have said so. I'll expose the government if need be. There's a lot of bungling happening in the allotment of the Rajiv Gandhi housing scheme. So there's already corruption, but leave that aside. Constitution doesn't provide for that. Couple of them rightly said it. So where is that? I mean, the people who has written the Constitution, they could have written religion also. They could have qualified religion also into it. They could have put under court religion also. They have not done so. That's why this should be challenged in court. And already such matters have been challenged in court, and court has given decision in against the religious quota.
Yes. Syed Abbas wants to come in.
Okay. Firstly, to my dear friend Anurag Naidu, myself, Anurag Naidu on the panel, happen to be Bangaloreans from Karnataka. I've also seen Devara Kelsa, Sarkara Kelsa, which means government's work is God work. It's not just the Congress government, sir, which is doing the God's work. Previously, Yediyurappa, who was the BJP chief minister, Maiji, has also done the same work, including Kumaraswamy. Now, coming to Paji, let me tell you, RP Singh Sahab, mere bade bhai hain. Paji, the law minister also in his press briefing stated that the centre had issued guidelines on the same front. As a matter of fact, the centre, with respect to this, already provides 15% for housing scheme in the minorities. Karnataka is only following suit, sir. These are the words of H.K. Patil, the Law and Parliamentary Affairs Minister here from Karnataka. Also, it is not only for the Muslims. 15% for the Muslim. The rest of the 85% is for Vokaligas, for Lingayat, Kuruba, and all other communities here from Karnataka.
But that's what they're saying. Why is
houseless,
it? How did you? That's what the entire objection is to the fact that how is religion being given a backdoor entry? I want Anurag to come in very quickly. Let Anurag come in. No, allow Anurag to come in.
Yeah, very quickly. Swati, one very limited point. One very limited and a fresh point. Swati, this one religion, my brothers from this religion, I really, one thing that I'm really happy about my brothers from this religion is that they have Waqf. Third biggest real estate organization in India, 6 lakh acres of land bank. And I think we can do something about it from that pool to satisfy the housing. I think the other religion, other people from other religion, or in general, the OBCs who are economically backward, or any, I just don't want to say OBC, SC, STs, but economically backward, I think they can be a better rational. The state can choose to lay it out in a better way. And that's the only limited point. I'm not against anything, but the underprivileged should get the houses.
Underprivileged are being denied their right, Mr.
Genuinely
Abbas.
so.
Yeah. Firstly, sir, Govt is not a real estate organization. Maybe to try to make the point you said that it's not a real estate organization. Also, as a matter of fact, what you're trying to bring about here, let it be the OBC, let it be the SC, the ST, everybody, sir, and minority does not mean Muslim alone. You have Parsis, you have Sikhs, you have Christians, you have Jains, and others too. So therefore, trying to paint it, otherwise, sir, if Muslim appeasement had to happen, 100% it would be for Muslims. Muslims will be hardly 8 or 10%. The rest will be completely distributed to all individuals.
All right, before I wrap up, RP Singh, before I wrap up, because Syed Abbas is saying that the centre does the same thing, we're just following the centre.
Yeah.
Well, this is wrong. I'm just going to, I was trying to Google and search. There is nothing of this sort. I mean, is it all falsehood, fake being spread? But coming back to the minorities, including Sikhs, Jains, Parsis, sir, I give a challenge. How many, sir, I never interpret. I give a challenge? How many Sikhs or how many Parsis or how many Jains will be allotted? It's a matter of time to see. It's all for pleasing a particular community, that is a Muslim community, for vote bank, nothing more than that. And Congress has been ongoingly doing so. And again it has been challenged in various courts, and again courts have turned it back, saying that nothing, you can't do that. You can't give quotas or you can't give preferences on basis of religion.
So the housing quota for minorities has led to a massive political face-off, with the BJP saying this is appeasement politics and the Congress hitting back. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast. Thank you for your time. Let's quickly reveal the results of the question that we asked, the poll survey. Are the needy deprived by the political compulsions? And here's how you have responded, how you have voted. 72% people have voted yes, that the needy are being deprived because of political compulsions, and 28% people have voted no. With that, we're slipping into a short break. That's all I could pack for you in this edition of Nation Wants to Know.